Biotech millionaire Bryan Johnson is aging backwards, apparently. Celebrated as a brilliant biohacker, people cannot get enough of the content about him. But what is this content actually teaching us about lifestyle choices and disordered eating? Hello, if you're new, my name is Ruth. I'm a registered eating disorder specialist and it's such a joy to have you here. So there are actually 3 eating disorder red flags I see in Bryan Johnson that make me suspect that he's actually engaging in quite severe disordered eating. Starting with... Let's start with the fact that Bryan only eats between the hours of 6 AM and 11 AM. That is a very restrictive 5-hour window with zero wiggle room. Whilst intermittent fasting has recently become very trendy, the science behind it shows that it's not all it seems. I'll link my video on intermittent fasting below, but in a nutshell, the problems with these evidence-based trials is that yes, intermittent fasting was shown to accelerate weight loss for those struggling with obesity, but only when paired with a severe calorie deficit. And by severe, I mean sometimes as little as 600 to 800 calories a day. Yikes. The reality, this is neither realistic nor sustainable. You might even consider this a crash diet. When we intermittent fast as severely as Bryan is, it really pushes us away from our intuition. We cannot truly live intuitively with our bodies. Fancy a meal out tonight, Bryan? Nope. Some popcorn at the cinema this afternoon? Absolutely not. Oh, your body is hungry past 11 AM? Just ignore it. To me, this screams disordered eating. To have this excessive level of control over when you eat your food feels incredibly restrictive. And I would imagine it's probably impacting his relationships and social life too. Now, I'm not saying that every social interaction has to involve food, but to me, intuitively enjoying snacks or a meal as friends or as family or part of a larger social group is something that really brings people together. If we simply ban ourselves from eating past 11 o'clock in the morning, what does that do to our social life? How does that impact our days? And will we have much energy to do anything past 3 o'clock in the afternoon if we finished eating at 11 o'clock in the morning? Please remember that we all fast in our day-to-day life, just much more sustainably. That's why breakfast is called breakfast, because it's breaking the fast of the night. I know that intermittent fasting feels very trendy and of the moment now, but I truly believe that in 5 to 10 years we're going to look back on this period of time and see how unhealthy it truly was. The first video that truly grabbed my attention of Bryan was a clip of him eating what truly appeared to be green sludge. Bryan calls his diet the blueprint, created with the aim of turning back the clock. According to an article in Vice, this diet will set you back £17,000 a year, as well as taking over 100 supplements a day. The first issue I see with the blueprint is the complete lack of variety or enjoyment within it. Now, I will be the first to put my hand up and say I love a green smoothie, but Bryan's Green Giant is not it. A concoction of powders and supplements, the Green Giant looks less than appetizing. Second on the blueprint menu is the Super Veggie, which is really just lentils and vegetables with a bit of seasoning chucked on top. But don't worry, folks. Bryan reassures us that it can also be turned into hummus. Finally is the nutty pudding, which to be fair looks pretty tasty. But again, this is super strict and specific as a recipe. These blueprint meals are so strict they feel completely unhealthy to me. There is no room here for enjoyment or spontaneity or fun or even just variety. In fact, to me, it all feels pretty dystopian. Also, we should never need to take over 100 supplements a day, especially when, more generally speaking, we can get most of these from our diet. This circles us back again to the fact that Bryan's diet is so incredibly strict that he needs to take over 100 supplements a day. It's showing us that his diet is not giving him the nutrient balance that he actually needs. Eating exactly the same foods every day is a very severe symptom of many eating disorders. But this is a particular red flag to me in this situation, as this diet is being sold as the creme de la creme of nutrition. The reality is this is more likely going to become an unfulfilling and unsustainable diet for too many people, leading to binging, restricting, malnutrition and boredom. P.S. If you're enjoying this video, please go and hit the like button. It truly helps my small but growing channel and helps other eating disorder warriors know that we exist. We all need a varying number of calories to thrive. All bodies are different and all lifestyles are different. But concerningly, Bryan's diet specifically consists of 1,223 calories a day. For context, an adult male's calorie intake should be somewhere roughly around 2,500, and a 6-year-old child needs roughly 1,600 a day. When we become fixated on calorie counting in this way, whether it's for weight loss reasons or health reasons, it's a big eating disorder red flag. By becoming so hyper fixated on a specific number of calories, we are being greatly pushed away from our intuition and our body's needs. I have been there myself with extreme calorie counting, and so have so many of my clients and patients. In fact, I'm sure many of you have too. Calorie counting to this extent can be outright dangerous and can quickly spiral into fatal and severe eating disorders like anorexia nervosa. When we are able to listen to our body's needs and wants, we no longer need to rely on numbers, whether that be the number of calories in a day or whether that be the number on the scales. And I promise you, there's absolutely nothing glamorous about restricting your calorie intake. Now, I'm not Bryan's doctor, but if Bryan was my patient, I'd be really concerned about his health and well-being. I worry that the positive content being made about Bryan Johnson is actually accelerating and exacerbating his disordered eating patterns. His disordered eating is effectively being celebrated. As always, if you are struggling with an eating disorder, please reach out to a loved one, your family doctor, or a registered professional like myself. Recovery is possible, and even biohacking diets like Bryan Johnson's can be extremely unhealthy. Be kind to yourself, and I'll see you soon, my love.